This is submodule 1-7, absolute value inequalities. Okay, if we have an absolute value is less than a number. Less than is an and inequality. And we learned in the previous module that and was shaded in the middle. It could be dots or circles, but it's going to be shaded in the middle. Okay. So we need to isolate first, just like we did for equations. So you're going to add 3, add 3. Okay, so very much like how we did absolute value equations, the first time we're just going to drop the absolute value. To get the second part, we're going to keep the x plus 1. We're going to reverse the symbol and change the sign. Reverse the symbol, the inequality symbol, and change the sign. Okay, to get the second little inequality. And then these are just little one-step inequalities. Okay, so it's an and, so I'm going to be looking for where does it overlap. Okay, so we've got less than or equal to 3 with a dot. Greater than or equal to -5 with a dot. It's an and, so we've got to look for where do they overlap. From here to here. Okay, and we need to write in an interval notation. The dot means bracket, includes the endpoint, -5, comma 3, bracket, because we're also including the endpoint. Okay, example 2 is also a less than. We need to isolate first. Okay, isolate first. So we're going to add the 1. And then we have to divide by 2. Okay, so we're going to break it up. X plus 3 is less than 1. First one is just like it is. Just drop the absolute value. To the second piece, you're going to do x plus 3, reverse the symbol, and change the sign. Okay. Okay, so this is less than. It does not have an equal to, so it does not include the endpoint. So it's going to be open circle, shade left. This one is greater than -4, open circle, shade right. Where do they overlap? From here to here, and we know it's shade in the middle. Okay, for the interval notation, -4 does not include the endpoint, so you're going to put a parenthesis, comma -2, put a parenthesis. Okay, so those are and inequalities. Now for or, okay, if it's greater than, it's or. And we know that if it's or is shaded on the ends. Or is shaded on the ends, sticks out on the ends like the oar of a boat sticks off the sides of the boat. Okay, again, isolate. The first step when we're dealing with absolute values is always isolate. Then we separate. Okay, when we do the second part, Reverse the symbol and change the sign. Okay. All right, so when we do this, a little bit easier to graph. You're not looking for the overlap. So we're pretty sure they're going to be going in two separate directions. Greater than 1 does not include the endpoint. Shade right. Less than -3 does not include this endpoint. Shade left. Okay, now this is a little bit harder to write in interval notation because it does have two parts. Okay, out here, you always start at the left. Okay, so we have negative infinity, which never includes the endpoint, all the way to -3. You got to open circle, so no endpoint. And 1 to infinity. Okay, I know it's an OR inequality, but the answer is here and here. So don't say there or there, because it's not one or the other. It's both places you could have answers that would be correct. Reverse the symbol, change the sign. Okay, solve the two pieces. Okay, so you've got greater than or equal to. So that means you're going to put a closed dot, and then you're going to shade right. Less than or equal to 1 is going to be a closed dot, shade left. Okay, so then we're going to do interval notation. Negative infinity to 1. Closed dot means it includes the endpoint. Okay, over here, include the endpoint. You got a 5 to infinity. So both pieces are part of the solution.